Even more important than the proposed change in the tax code is the effect on spending. With fixed dollar amounts from 1025 payments and the buyout, replacing entitlements and mean-tested programs, 60% of current government spending will automatically be capped. Buyout payments will decline as each month passes. Spending increases for 1025 payments will reflect growth in the number of citizens of approximately 1% annually. On average, both GDP and federal revenues should grow faster than that 1% population increase, since growth in GDP is strongly correlated to increases in population and productivity, resulting in growing revenue surpluses on this 60% of government cost. Note that nominal costs will increase, but at a slower rate than revenues and GDP. Discretionary spending of approximately 7% of GDP will still be controlled by legislators. We will attempt to cap that spending through an annual cash bonus incentive, using a carrot rather than a regulatory stick. If legislators keep discretionary spending below 7%, we should reward them since they work for us. Bonuses will be based on a percentage of GDP, which should result in a bonus of 2% of 2 times current salary. For around $200 million, we will control discretionary spending of $1 trillion. With both the budget and bonuses tied to growth in GDP, they will think twice about excessive regulation and increased taxes, which correlate closely with slowing growth. By itself, the core 1025 plan could immediately balance the budget. However, payments from the buyout will force net deficits. It should take between 6 and 8 years before the budget can achieve balance. To put this forecast in perspective, the 1025 plan projects a peak deficit of $4 trillion versus current CBO estimates for deficits of $10 trillion and the Paul Ryan plan deficits of $6 trillion. At the 25% rate, surpluses should be achieved in years 8 through 10. Instead, the 1025 plan intends to maintain a balanced budget by adjusting the flat tax rate lower, thereby encouraging faster growth and a more competitive global profile. A lower tax rate should keep more money in the pockets of working citizens and lower the cost of products and services for all. Buyout distributions for the newly retired will be reduced each month for 30 years, or 360th for every month worked after the 1025 start date. However, since the 1025 start date will also mark the end of FICA tax payments, that 1/360th decrease in benefits will be offset by increased take-home pay for every month worked. For every reduction in future benefits, there will be 1 current month of FICA taxes that need not be paid. But did the $100 to $200 trillion in entitlement liabilities just disappear? You've heard these projections before, and they often include inflation and unsustainable increases in medical costs, whereas we are using inflation-adjusted real dollars. They've assumed 75 years of payments, but under 1025 we begin shedding costs immediately, with entitlements completely gone at the end of 30 years, for a full cost equivalent of only 15 of the 75 years, or 20% of the aforementioned projections. Next, the $10,000 annual 1025 payment replaces between 30 to 35% of current entitlement payments, a percentage that will grow as the buyout portion continues to be reduced. Finally, buyout payments for those with other retirement assets will be further reduced by the means of a painless tax. This painless tax will be described in detail in a separate video as part of the Fixing Everything series. Reducing crime and antisocial behavior. Since citizens will receive $10,000 annually, everyone will become financially responsible for their actions. Absent parents will be held responsible for child support. Convicted felons will be financially responsible for legal defense and court costs, in addition to incarceration fees and restitution of victims. Free riders, those injured or sick without health insurance, will be held responsible for unpaid medical bills. Drug dealers and drug users could lose monthly benefits. Mob violence or computer hacking could subject participants to huge damage claims. Tax cheats and their accountants could lose all future benefits, in addition to a penalty flat tax rate of 40%. Over a normal lifetime, a 20-year-old can expect $550,000 in inflation-adjusted payments. Will they put that at risk to hang out with known drug dealers or to rob $300 from a liquor store? Immigration. Legal immigrants will receive rebates on taxes paid, up to the equivalent of the annual 1025 payment, as will citizens under the age of 21. Illegal immigrants will receive nothing from the federal government. America will continue to be a land of opportunity, with legal immigrants having every chance to duplicate the tax profile of successful citizens. As Marco Rubio put it, we are not anti-immigration. We are pro-legal immigration. In summary, the 1025 plan will bypass government middlemen, allowing maximum flexibility to citizens in their pursuit of happiness. Thank you for watching this MHTV video. If you liked it, let us know. There will be several more coming shortly, including group self-insurance. This video describes a new form of healthcare organization that will provide better care at half the cost. Less reasonable pays. This tort reform suggestion is a modification of the British system, which could drastically reduce the threat of lawsuits and the cost of liability insurance. 1025 funding of medical and retirement accounts. Finally, a painless tax. This video explains how to get rid of capital gains taxes without too much political fuss, while reducing entitlement liabilities. That's all for now. See you next time. We need to build political momentum. So our plan needs more of us. Please provide critical viral support by linking this video to at least 3 friends. Your efforts to inform them have the potential to change our future for the better.